Hello all, I hope all is well with you today. My name is Ophelia and today I bring to you episode number 7 of AccraLit's Read Aloud series. Today our writer is Kofi Anyidoho, and as usual, before I read the actual poem to you, I'll give you a little bit of context about who he is. So Kofi Anyidoho is a Ghanaian-born poet, academic, critic, and writer who was born in 1947. He is an English literature professor at the University of Ghana and the recipient of several awards, including the Langston Hughes Prize, the Ghana Book Award, the BBC Arts and Africa Poetry Award. In his work, he explores subject matters including home and belonging, traditions, the impact of colonization and globalization, and ancestry. Yep. So our poem today is titled The Place We Call Home, and again, it's by Kofi Anyidoho. So here it goes. I will come again to these shores. I must come again to these lands. Return once more to ancestral time. Feel again the last embrace of primal joy, of birth waters lapping against these feet grown weary with waywardness. I have walked the distant earth, flown the final sky, stepped across horizons draped in sorrow's somber hue. In Wellington once, I watched the Maori dance and sing the loss of ancestral lands and gods, from Medellin of the distant dream to Barranquilla on Colombia's Carib shores, in Santiago de Cuba of a troubled, hopeful time, and in Haitian nightmares of Santo Domingo. I saw, I heard, I felt, I smelt, I even tasted a trail of blood across our history's final side. But now, I must come again to these lands. I will walk again on these shores. There's something about the place you call home, something about familiar contours of the land, about the very taste of air, that essential smell of earth, something about the very feel of things, the geography of landmarks, the chemistry of fond memories, even about the nothingness of time. Those little joys wrapped in mist of memory and the faint echoes of old laughters, a thing about the morning skies gone wild with thunderstorms, and the evening clouds so restless with rainbow joys, the third cockcrow and the early walk to the village stream, daily nuisance of grass still wet with dew, the Hamilton wind and its biting touch, midnight hooting of the lonesome owl, shrieking call of seagull's orphan child, the termite-eaten fence where often you stood on one leg trembling, holding your breath for a lover now lost to childhood dreams. In the place you call home, there was this thing about the haunted house behind the church, the old graveyard with a new tombstone, where once you sang your last song for a classmate lost to a lightning flash. In the place you call home, there was a thing about the old school bell with its nasal twang, the huge presence of the headmaster, his slender cane with a constant threat, the school inspector's annual call, and the nervousness of all teachers, the class bully who now is a mere scarecrow. And that lead sports girl with a slender neck who brought so many trophies home, rewarded your timid smiles with a handkerchief embroidered with your secret name. A place we call home defines our sense of self, of time, of place. So I must come again to these shores. I will come again and again to these lands, still awash with primal memories. Oh my gosh, so lovely. I love it. So there are several reasons why we chose to highlight this poem for this episode, and a couple of those reasons are as follows. So the first being the themes of nostalgia, home, and memory. The poem emphasizes a deep sense of nostalgia for the place you call home, as the title suggests, evoking the sensory and emotional experiences associated with what one would call home. Phrases like the very taste of air, smell of earth, and the chemistry of fond memories highlight the personal and sentimental connection to one's homeland. Another reason that this poem is absolutely brilliant is that it highlights loss and transience. So the poet, or the speaker in this case, reflects on the transient nature of time and the inevitability of change, noting how one's familiar landmarks and experiences become distant memories. This is seen in lines like the geography of lost landmarks and now lost to childhood dreams, indicating a lament for what has been altered or lost over time. Another reason that we chose to highlight this poem is the theme of cultural and ancestral connection. There's a strong theme of reconnecting with one's roots and ancestral heritage. The poem, or the poet, mentions ancestral time and ancestral lands, for instance, indicating a yearning to return to the cultural and historical origins that define their identity. Another reason why the poem is fantastic is its highlighting of universal, or the universal human experience. The poem connects personal memories to broader human experiences of displacement and cultural loss. References to various global locations such as Wellington, Medellin, and Santiago de Cuba suggest that the sense of longing and loss is a universal condition. And lastly, we chose to highlight this poem because of its theme of resolution and return. So despite the themes of loss and nostalgia, the poem concludes with a resolve to return and connect with the homeland, or a homeland. Let's put it that way. The repeated lines of "I will come again to these shores, I will walk again on these shores" convey a determined hope to reclaim and re-experience the place that holds significant personal and cultural value. Yep, so those are some of the reasons. We would love to hear about some of your reasons for loving this poem as much as we do. Please share them in the comments section with us. And per usual, if you would love to support AccraLit Literacy's mission, you can do so in various ways, including purchasing our merch. For instance, I love this mug. I'm a tea lover, so it makes so much sense. You can donate funds, you can donate used clothing or shoes or learning materials in good condition. You can also contribute to our period poverty mission by donating materials that pertain to ending period poverty, and so much more that have been highlighted on our website. So definitely, do follow us on various social media platforms, including Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. TikTok, and so much more. Until next time, see you. Thank you for joining me.